It's so nice to be able to visit with you all again this week. We were busy last week with the educators event going on up in the Tulsa area, so that kind of sidelined everything else going on with New It Too, but we're glad to have you join us this week.
It's good to be back.
We want to talk to you about something that we've been working on in the stores. As a matter of fact, I know all the stores have been working on this, which is the tile scenes that you can get from OESD. This one that we're working on happens to be the Scissors Tail Stitches design of Oh Christmas Tree.
Isn't that cute?
Isn't it adorable?
I love that.
And what's nice about it is it's a pretty fast stitch out because it's kind of sparse stitching and it goes really quick. Here is, we printed out the instructions.
Nice.
Which is a nice thing to have. I'm a real paper person.
Oh gosh, me too.
You know, I get lost if I'm flipping back and forth on my screen, but if I print it out, I can mark off what I've done. So we printed it out, and as we finish the different designs, we just mark through it so that we know done, 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 done.
Perfect.
All of that. One of the great things that you can do is prepare your fabric ahead of time. Rather than say, have a big piece of fabric and have a roll of stabilizer, and then as you go, you know, you cut out your piece and you get going with it. If you have everything prepared ahead of time, it just goes like just clockwork, and and you get really good results from it. One thing that we've been doing with all of our tile scenes is we've been backing the fabric with Dreamweave Ultra, and it is fabulous. It really gives extra support to the fabric. The stitches end up looking beautiful, and we've pre-cut all of our little squares for it so that we know exactly what we're doing, and then we can just baste them down into the hoop. Works like a charm.
Love it.
Right.
Helps save us from the puckering that you sometimes get with all that stitching too.
It does, because it's never fun to go to all that work and then have things be puckered.
Especially on a tile scene.
Oh yeah. This is like the diagram for it, and as we are putting them together, you'll see we've marked through the different ones.
Nice.
So I love that they have a little roadmap for you so that you know exactly where you're at and what step is next. I highly recommend doing them in order. I mean, I guess if you want to throw caution to the wind and do it out of order, good luck. But I think it works a lot easier, and it helps keep your thread going. Now, you can either pull your own threads from your stash that you already have, but if you do, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but you do have to go in there and then make sure that every time you're using a different color, you see where we had to go in and write them in.
You have to make sure you're consistent throughout.
Exactly, because we were using colors that we already have open, and that way we just had to make sure that we're pulling the right colors. As a matter, can you kind of point up there to the Oh Holy Night scene?
Oh yeah.
Now that one was serious thread intense on that.
Oh
one,
yeah.
Okay. Now on that one, we only actually had to redo one block on that, because when we got done with it, we realized that we wrote a couple of colors down wrong.
I'm
and
impressed.
It just didn't look right, so we had to fix it, because it was going to be that block that everybody goes, what happened?
The shading's not quite right.
But OESD kind of goes the extra mile for you, and they say, hey, we have these things called thread kits, so
Love
that
it.
if this is the design pack that you're wanting to do, you can get the thread, and then you have all the threads you need.
Oh yeah, especially like on something as intensive as Oh Holy Night.
Right. And
That was insane.
It's a perfect way to know that you've got everything you need. And we sell the design packs, and we sell the thread kits for many of the designs. And it's a great way to make sure you've got everything you need right there at your fingertips.
Absolutely.
Not that what we did was impossible, but I will tell you,
It was more
getting
time
prepared
consuming.
for it, it was a whole lot more time consuming.
Yeah.
It really was. We did it, but it was more time consuming. So we'll come back to this in just a minute. We have some blocks over here that are already finished,
Okay.
and we needed to cut them out. So one of the things I really like about how OESD finishes these, I know it's hard to see this on the black, but can you see that this is like the final stitch line? Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
Okay, and you see how the design goes beyond that final stitch line? That way, whenever you're putting the pieces together, it kind of feathers it back together. You don't end up with a dead spot, so that if you didn't quite get it to match up, there's nothing feathering in the seam allowance.
Got it.
And so that's a big deal. I know it's kind of hard to see on the black. Here, let me show you on this one. can you see right here where it stitches over the ornament right there? But you see how it's beyond that, so that whenever I get the piece that this is going to sandwich next to, I have some leeway here.
Nice. I like
The
that.
other thing that's really helpful about it is the last step they have you do, which of course is that line right there. They have you change the bobbin.
Okay.
So we used a white bobbin on
The majority
everything
of it.
that we did.
Yeah.
But do you see this last step? It's black. Super helpful when it comes time for us to be trying to know where to stitch, because if I use a
Got
white
it.
one, I'd be looking and going, is it this line? Is it this line? And if it's a really thread intense one like that, Oh Holy Night, it was hard to figure out what line it should have been. So that's another thing. But you can see how it's going to be feathered out all along back here.
Nice.
So let me show you how easy it is to cut these out. Now, I will tell you, when I'm trying to see a black line on black fabric,
Oh yeah, I've been doing it from the back side.
oh good, so I'm not the only one that
Nope.
figured that out. Ashley, you're so smart.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while. So we got our wonderful Quilter Select rotary cutter,
Perfect.
mat and ruler that has that nice grippy to it. And I'm just lining it up on that stitch line right there.
And we're doing 1/2 inch seam allowances.
Half inch, yeah. Don't do a 1/4 inch. Way too small.
Yeah.
You need that to be able to press it open.
Perfect.
And we're gonna cut that off. It's such a smooth cutting thing, I almost thought it didn't cut.
Right.
Did you see that look of panic in my eyes? I was like, oh, look, it didn't cut. And it was so perfect, it cut like butter.
I do that all the time.
Like butter.
Love it.
I would never have another kind of rotary cutting system besides this.
Oh yeah. Remember when I first started here and I didn't really know how to sew very much? And I had Walmart tools.
And boy, have we taught you or what?
I'm a little spoiled now. I have
You are
too
spoiled.
much of this stuff.
Super easy to cut out.
Perfect.
So we got that one cut out.
Ta-da.
I have a little bit of trimming I can go back and do on here, but I'm not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
worry about that right now.
Nah.
And we'll go ahead and cut this one out.
We did this one on a bigger machine, so we
Yes,
got
so that we can do
multiple in the
two
hoop.
in the hoop. Yes. I think we did this on the Meridian, and we did this one on,
The flare.
right. So basically, one thing that's really great about OASD designs is the majority of the design, all the tile seams I think are designed for 5x7.
Yeah, a lot of them are a 5x7. If not, then a 6x10.
Right.
No.
And so what that means is some of your smaller machines can do these designs, or you can, and there's only one size of it. There are some companies that do multiple sizes, and I made the mistake before of pulling the wrong file, and I did like
Half
10
of it in one
blocks
size.
in one size and 5 blocks in a different size, and then
Oops.
got to do that all over again because guess what?
They don't go together.
They didn't go together. But it's nice because you can either look at it like I can use a smaller machine and get this done, or I can do multiple tiles in one hooping. So that's something else to look at.
And on this particular one, we used, we hooped cutaway and then basted in our fabric with the Dreamweave Supreme fused on the
Yeah,
back.
and I'm not gonna lie, I have not been the one doing the stitching of the designs. I've been the assembler. But we're getting them all done. I think we, what's the other one we did?
The Haunted Mansion, what, Haunted Hill? Is it the Haunted Hill?
Haunted Mansion.
I don't remember what it's
Haunted
called.
Hill Mansion? I don't know.
It's a spooky house on a hill.
It is really pretty, really pretty. I love the way the whites and grays. You can see the
In the moon.
ghosts. And, yeah. As a matter of fact, if you all will be planning on coming to club, which is next week, September 14th or the 16th, we will be doing some things that have some Halloween theme to them.
Nice.
So one more cut, and then we'll be able to move on, and I'll show you how these go together.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, so you can see we've been putting it together. We've got pretty much the whole top half of it sewn together. Doesn't
Yeah.
it look beautiful?
It does. I like it.
And then we've got this next row that's going in here. And so we have a piece that needs to go on here, and then of course we'll have the other rows. So again, this is where that map came in handy. And if you look at this one, here is this piece. This is number 24.
Perfect.
Okay, and that one's going to go right there. And then
Beautiful.
these two pieces are going to go here and here.
Perfect.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you how we'll attach that together.
Okay.
All right. So again, black on black can be very hard to see, but
Yes.
whenever we had the black on the white there, remember that's that stitch line right there. So always make sure that you're putting it in there the right direction. And this one actually goes, if I look at my map again, the little starburst is
Towards the bottom.
towards the bottom of it.
Got it.
Okay, because this one, it does have that overlap. So can you see here where those are what overlap? So that whenever you have the seam, you're not gonna notice it. Some brands don't have that and you get this blank spot if you didn't sew it quite
Okay.
right. So I'm gonna take this, flip it over, okay?
Okay.
And then get some pins out. Ouch, I just stabbed myself.
Yeah, don't stab.
Don't stab. And I'm gonna put it right in that corner,
Okay.
and I'm gonna put it right in that corner.
Okay.
I can actually, I know you can't see it, but I can see that hole. And so I wasn't, oops, not quite there. Can you see it on that side?
Yeah. There we go.
And I'm gonna put that together and pin these. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this corner. And then I'm gonna go through on that corner. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Line it all up. And then anytime you have a place where you had colors that needed to match up, like on this, I can see where this part needs to match up. I'm going to put my pin right in there so that it's lining it up. Now, this one's a little bit more of a loose weave, but like when we're doing one like this,
Where those
I
branches-
need where a branch is going to meet or where I need that white satin stitch to match. That's a little bit easier as you're pinning it to make sure that you're getting that so that it's not off slightly and it looks like the Christmas ornament is
little
got a
catty
like a
locust.
wrinkle or something in it.
Got it.
Okay, but that's how I line those up. And I do that as often as I feel like there's a color match, but on this one there's not that much color match to do on it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stitch this, and I'm going to do it with a straight stitch, and I'm going to do a 1/2 inch seam.
Okay.
But I will tell you, after doing a few of these tile seams, I scooch in just maybe not quite a 1/16 of an inch to the inside of it,
Okay.
and
That way you make sure you cover that black
that makes
line.
sure you cover it. Okay.
Got it.
So let me show you here. We're on a straight stitch, and I hope I'm not in front of the camera.
No, you're good.
Okay. And I'm gonna go here, and I can tell from that little line that's on my presser foot, on the J foot right there. Of course, if I had my laser light, this machine doesn't have a laser light. Oh, I'm on a back stitch. Sorry. But see how I'm about a 1/16 of an inch in?
Yeah.
And I thought maybe that's biting too much. No, I wouldn't do more than that, but it's not biting too much. And then here's the other thing that I did. And I found this to be very helpful on the ones that were really involved scenes, like on that Oh Holy Night. If I flip this over, I can also make sure that I went inside it here. Because sometimes one piece of the fabric's gonna wanna pull more than the other one.
Got
And
it.
so when I open it,
You can see those match. Nice.
you can see they match. And then whenever we press this, I know most of the time when we think it's a quilt, it's something like that, we're gonna press it to one side. This is bulky,
Yeah.
okay? And especially some of the tile scenes can have a lot of heavy stitching on it. It can be even bulkier.
Or
You're
if they have
actually gonna press
applique
this
or-
open.
Yeah.
And we'd go over to the Laura Star, we'd press that open, and we see we have a perfect match there.
Yeah.
And so again, the ticket to getting these to match is to use that last one. I know it's not, you think, I know it says to use a different color bobbin on the last step, and gosh, that just seems like that one extra thing that I have to stop, take off my hoop, put in a different bobbin thread. It's a lifesaver.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do it on probably the first 10 blocks of that
Oh Holy
Night, and that was a challenge trying to figure out where to stitch on that.
It's also a good time to use up if you have miscellaneous
Yeah,
wound
I mean, we
bobbins
all
left
have
over.
those. I
Good
mean,
time to use them up.
That's right. So, you know, they gave you those instructions for a reason, to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
And while it might seem like, do I really need to do that? You don't have to, but I suggest you follow those guidelines.
Makes
Now,
it easier.
Let's go back to talking about this lovely box of thread and design here.
Okay.
So the special we want to have going on this week is if you buy any of the designs that we have, then you can get the thread set for it for 15% off.
I love that.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Because then you have all of the threads and you're getting them at a great discount. Let's go over here real quick.
Yeah, see what else we've
show
got.
you some of the other ones we have. I think we've shown some before, but I know some of them I have in stock here in Oklahoma City. Of course, every store is going to be a little bit different, but we have the
Serenity Prayer.
the Serenity Prayer with the thread for that.
Perfect.
And then over here we have the Christmas tree. That's the one we're working on. And then this is the Winter Visitors, the beautiful cardinals.
Ooh, that one's
With
got a
that
lot more
set.
thread too.
That's got a lot more thread in it as well. And then down here, Ashley, there's the Santa thread kit, the Happy Snowman.
Oh, those
there's
are
the
cute.
Oh Holy Night. There's a lot of thread in that box. Here's the Peace on Earth one. And then, can you crawl around here on your knees?
Huh. Shimmy, shimmy,
Shimmy,
shimmy.
shimmy, shimmy. Here's that Haunted Hill Mansion right here.
Yes.
And the thread set that goes with that.
We just did that one too.
We
That
did
was
do
fun.
that one. Can you show that one over there? It's underneath the TV. Let's go over there.
Let's go
real
see it.
quick.
Getting out of the floor. Okay.
Speaking of, remember, we want you to come to Club, and Club's going to have all sorts of spooky things going on.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know I like my spooky things.
Oh, I know you do. we're a spooky bunch around here, but isn't it gorgeous?
Oh, I love that.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And all the little ghosts in the moon.
And this one was a lot of applique. So some of them were like strictly thread, some are not quite as thread intensive, and then this one was a lot of applique, and I just think it turned out beautiful.
I love that those pumpkins look like they're glowing.
Isn't it fun?
That's a lot of fun.
Isn't it fun? And there is some metallic thread in here, in the clouds.
And there's some glow in the dark thread in the ghosts in the moon.
But that's right. But we're not in the dark to show that to you. You just have to take our word for it.
Yeah.
So we would love you to go ahead and get started on some of these wonderful new stitch outs we have with the OESD tile seams. We're having a lot of fun making them. And like I say, if you get prepped for it from the beginning and have all your fabric ready and prepped and stabilized, and
It
all
moves
your threads
quickly.
picked out,
Yeah.
then it's just like clockwork getting it done. So if you want to challenge yourself a little bit and find out how much fun that is, we invite you to do that. Join us at Club next week. Remember, it's on the 14th, which is a Thursday at 1 o'clock. It's on the 16th, which is a Saturday at 10 a.m. And for our friends in Tulsa, you also have it on Friday at 10 a.m. So you have 3 opportunities there. And then looking forward to September, rather than Club, we have what we call our annual tech party.
Yay.
It is so much fun. It's when you get to come and see about all of the new products and ideas and features and tools and just great stuff. I don't even know what all this stuff is. They don't tell us because they're afraid we might like tell you when we're not supposed to.
They think I can't keep a secret or
guess
something.
not. Do not look trustworthy. Shh. You have to be quiet about it. I know a few things, but I don't know enough to tell you much of anything. So you're just going to have to come join us in September. Did I say September for next week's club? I did.
Did you?
I did.
No, whatever the dates are.
The dates are August. Next Thursday, which would be what day?
I don't know what day it is.
Oh, I'm such a goofball. I took a week of vacation, and I don't think my brain is back. So club is going to be the 17th, 18th, and 19th of August.
There we go.
And then that September 14th
And 16th.
which in fact is only on Thursday and only on Saturday.
Got it.
That is the 2023 Tech Party.
Perfect.
And we want you to join us for that. We do need you to sign up for it so that we know who's coming. There's not a fee involved in it, but that way we know we got enough chairs, we got enough fun
Snacks.
prizes, and we have plenty of food. So again, club is next week, August 17th, 18th, 19th, and then Tech Party is September 14th and 16th. Come and see us anytime about these wonderful OESD designs, and we'd love to give you some techniques and tips about how you can make some beautiful wall hangings to have at your home.
Absolutely.
All right, it was nice seeing you guys. We'll see you next week at New It Too.
See you then.